Am I live here? Yep, I'm live. Ish, maybe check. So I was gonna do this. I was gonna do this podcast with a friend, so I know I could have a few breaks here and there, so I didn't have to talk constantly, which it seems like I'm about to have to do. Um, so give me 1 second. I have to just check. All right. So just check real quick with see if I'm live or if I am live. Sweet. Just make sure I have audio and crap. Yep, I'm good. Alright, so for desktop audio, I have something interesting for you guys to see. So yeah, what happened was there has been a small case of people being really sick recently. They're just nasty people, and I want to show you this small bit before the official. I have my special parts I have written down. So I want to show you this small bit. Let me see if I can get up on screen since this is now my first ever live podcast, which is super sweet, dude. And I'm really happy to have this. This is just a piece because when installing, I had a small issue, whatever. And let's see, it's gonna have to. All right, there it is. We're not gonna loop it right now. Well, hell yeah. Um, local file loop, blah 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 blah. That should be working. Except, all right, there it is. So, well, what happened was there was a bunch of people at a, I'm not guessing protest. Was it a protest? I cannot really tell you. It doesn't really matter what it was. A protest, a riot, doesn't matter. People, this woman, multiple women, I should say, and a male, from the looks of it, I saw the full video. There was a male standing on top of the ambulance. From the looks of it, those people were stopping the ambulance, which in reality they were. And what had happened was the ambulance was going to pick up a man who was shot. So they went out to pick up the man who was shot, and they were twerked on. Literally, the ambulance was twerked on, and he died. I wasn't sure if it was a man or woman. Doesn't specifically matter. And I just find that incredibly disturbing. Incredibly disturbing. Because, let him die, man. You had to have no shame, no morals. And this man had died because of that, or woman. I'm just gonna say man. I'm not woke, whatever. They had died because of this. It's incredibly sad, truly. I mean, it shows where our country has gone. Our country's gone to a point where people don't feel bad for this, or at least they've been indoctrinated so they don't feel bad for this. It's truly horrible, sad, and my next topic, which I'm happy to talk about, is about something that's almost as disturbing. Just it's not nearly as disturbing. There have been transgender males that turn themselves female who have been going to female sports. Now, you would think the feminists would be really against this because this has been creating all kinds of like all kinds of unfairities for the females because they don't really have equal terms when it comes to that. When you have men are more muscular than women, that's just biology. But when you have a male who says he's a female, even though he has the same muscle mass, I mean, look at this dude. He has massive muscle. There is no reason he should be allowed in. And he's going to dominate because of that. And it's been case after case after case. It's similar to a teenager that was on, maybe it wasn't on Glenn, but Glenn was talking about in the Glenn Beck program. There was a teenager who had left high school and went to a completely different school. She changed schools because she was sorry about that. She was so disturbed by a transgender male going into the female lockers. That is kind of weird. Kind of weird. And that's super, seems like it would be super uncomfortable. I don't know why the feminists, the feminazis, I should say, because they're the true Nazis around here. Not all feminists, obviously, but some of them. Most of them. Um, yeah. And she had to leave the school because they wouldn't change it. That's disgusting. We shouldn't have to deal with this. No one should have to deal with this. This is horrible, horrifying. I would even say. This go as far as saying that's horrifying. It's terrifying because it's like the school board doesn't care. They don't care about what you think. That's the sad part. All right. Now, I don't really know how to elaborate for the fact that males shouldn't just be able to say, I'm a female and be able to go into female sports and dominate. I mean, they'll say anything they can about supporting this, even if they are female. And it's odd because you think, why would you want to be treated unfairly? Why? And I don't have any answer for them, at least. They don't have any answer. They just follow what the Democrats say. And I guess that's understandable. If you're sheep and you don't really know what you're talking about, yeah, I understand following someone else's every single word, even if it's most obviously wrong. But it doesn't matter because there's nothing I can say that's going to change that. They can just ignore us. I mean, we see it in the school boards. We see it in the damn school boards where parents are up there complaining about critical race theory being integrated into the schools. And they say they don't actually say. That's the thing. They kind of just ignore, which is the weird part. And let me show you once again what critical race theory is causing, okay? What not I don't even know what to say. Allowing crime to happen, critical race theory, saying that segregation basically. This is what segregation happens. But this is what happens when you have segregation. This right here is what happens when you have segregation. You wanna know why? One group's being treated from another group, where it's fine for the other group to be crazy. In schools, it's the same thing, I'm supposing. I mean, it happens in the real world, and this is what happens when one group thinks it can do anything. BLM, Antifa. This can happen in our own schools, since that's what we're trying to have people believe. Arresting that woman wouldn't be unfair, but I'm doubting she's arrested. I'm doubting 100%. Um, it's insane that we believe. I shouldn't say we. If you're listening to this podcast, you're likely believing somewhere in the zone that I am. It's crazy that we believe that there's racism, tons of racism in this country. They believe this country is racist. It's crazy that we believe that, or the Democrats believe that. And then they proceed to show this. They show this. This is just allowed to happen. And there's racism? Extreme racism in our country when that's allowed to happen, allows someone to die because they got shot. I don't believe in that, man. It's wrong. And with this transgender stuff and not even listening to the community about what they want and just ignoring it, they have no reason to ignore it. I mean, obviously, the group of people, the majority of people want this changed. They don't think that critical race theory should exist in schools. I don't think most of them think trans men should be in female locker rooms. If you do, you're kind of weird. I think you're a pedophile. And trans men going into female sports just is unfair, but if they want to let it happen, if no one's going to stand up in the female communities and stop it, which I'm sure there's people that are, and so be it. Ruin your sports, ruin your fun. Um, Something on a little bigger of a topic, I suppose. Have you noticed that COVID-19 passes are kind of a big step towards authoritarianism? I mean, I've noticed that. I don't see how no one else could have noticed that. That's our second segment. Um, so people, some reason, still support abortion. I thought this topic should be over by now. A fetus is a human. It's of the human species. It's conceived by humans. That's what else is there to say? It's a human. There's a scary amount of people that believe it's not a human, that believe fetuses aren't humans. A scary amount of people, and there's even more. A scary group of people that seemingly believe that people that seemingly celebrate aborting something, aborting their baby, aborting their fetus. It's screwed up. And the fact is, Planned Parenthood is kind of racist. Extremely racist, actually. I believe it was, actually, I know it was originally made so more black babies would be aborted, and so there would be less of a black population. No one ever talks about that, but yet they still want to cancel Curious George. It's it's odd, man. I'm blown away by the fact that people still think that fetuses aren't children. They're children, babies. They need to be cared as much. They're not a, I believe they called it a parasite. I had an argument with an abortion, not someone who has sports abortion. They called it a parasite. What? I am confused beyond belief. How can you believe that a human baby is a parasite? I mean, how can you even say that? I mean, that just sounds evil. And they support it. It's disturbing. Very, very disturbing. And I don't even, I don't know how to respond to that. Oh, yeah. Um, after this piece, it's got to end that recording real fast. If you're watching the live version, you're gonna get a little bit more than the audio version, just a titch. All right. Um, back to the audio version. Uh, now that that piece is over, we're gonna just talk about COVID passes and how they're a huge step towards authoritarianism, and it's kind of weird because it's like the Democrats kind of make it seem like that's what they want. Wait, no, they're good with COVID passes, but they hate voting ID. I don't understand this. I don't understand the Democrats. I don't understand the people who support Democrats. Um, interesting facts here. COVID passes are like oddly Orwellian. And I'm about three-fourths of the way through 1984. I haven't finished it yet. I know, kind of insane. But it's oddly Orwellian because it's you can't fly, you can't go to a concert. I mean, the pandemic is basically over. If you're so worried about it, get get the vaccine. If you're not worried about it, don't get the vaccine. That's all there is to say. And I'm just reading up on my notes here. How far are we gonna let them step into our lives and tell us what we can and can't do? I mean, the government telling us that we can't go to a concert if we don't have our COVID-19 pass, or the government telling us that we can't fly without our COVID-19. But where is that their decision? How is that their decision? How is that not a giant step towards authoritarianism? When are we going to let it stop? Once it gets going, how are we going to stop it? Are we going to be able to? Is it going to go so far that we turn into communist China? Or turn into a form of communist China? Because it's possible that we do. What if we... Joe Biden is questioning democracy. And it's not even... We're not even a democracy. He's questioning our republic, but he's in that crazy mind of his. He thinks for some reason that we're in a democracy. He questions it. Are we on our steps to turn into a country that is similar to China? I don't want to be similar to China. I know about those Uyghur slaves, China. I know about those Uyghur slaves. You may not want to talk about them. The rest of the world may not want to. I mean, corporations, world, yeah, the world might want to talk about them. But corporations, American corporations might not want to talk about them. They might just be fine ignoring these people, ignoring how China has little to no morals, but I'm not. And I'm not going to let this country turn into it. And the COVID passes are really, really, really looking like a way they are going to push that on us right after the break. As you know, can't really have massive breaks on the podcast, so yes. But yeah, these COVID passes, they are um they're bad. They're really bad for our country. These COVID passes are really, really, really bad for our country. And I'm sorry for a moment. I have to end the recording and then begin it again as because this is gonna be posted onto a audio version on Anchor that you can listen to, and I would love you to listen to. I mean, that gives me sponsorship coins, coins, money. Um, these COVID passes, they just should have never existed. We should have stopped it right there and been like, no, I don't know about that. And it's like Joe 3030 is so oddly pushing the vaccine. I mean, I understand you want people to get vaccinated, but it's like he's saying you don't have a choice. Do it now. Everyone has a choice. I like how Fox says if you don't want to take it, you don't have to take it. But then yet they still push it, which is all right. But Joe, he's just playing out, no, you need to take it. If you don't want to, you're evil. He doesn't say that, but it sure feels like it. He has this really weird way of pushing what he thinks is right. Sorry, I'm just looking over there. There, yeah. It's freaky. It's super freaky. Um, I don't know. I don't know. He seems like he's trying to shove us away from the idea of having freedom almost. With the questioning of is democracy gonna work? Which no. No, democracy doesn't work that well. You're kind of right on that, Joe. I don't think a democracy could stand up to China, but a republic can. It's not questioning it, dude. It's so sick. Um, I just I have a quick question for Joe and any Democrats out there. What do you think should happen to the people who don't want to get the vaccine and still don't want to wear a mask? Now that it's released, now that people who are scared can get the vaccine and be safe in their minds, and the people who don't cannot. What do you want to do to them? Scold them? Tell them it's not their right because it 100% is. It's their right completely to do so. And I don't think it's your right to say it's wrong. Because in the end of the day, it's their choice. If they don't want to wear a mask or get the vaccination, they shouldn't have to. If you want to get the vaccination, do it. If they don't, I don't see an issue in punishing them, which you can't really do. But it always seems like Joe is like putting on a threat almost. Like, what are you gonna do to them? Lock them in their houses? Tell them they can't work so they can go bankrupt just because they don't want to get the vaccination, which they have very mixed feelings about. This is like infringing on the American people's rights, really. It's like the COVID passes? Do we not have a right of freedom? A right to do what we want? Is that no longer our choice? Do we just bow down and go bah, bah, and let them do whatever the hell they want? I think not. Um, weird, guys. This is weird. The next part I have, um, it's about some MIT students. They had an idea that you could put little crystals inside people's skin that would allow you to identify. This is freaky. They allow you to identify they are if they have the vaccination. That is weird. That is very weird. And there's uh, not a doubt in my soul. I'd go, no, no, you're not doing that. That is like threatening. Like, what do you mean put a crystal under my skin so you can identify me? That's weird. Besides weird, that's like kind of against. I don't even know. It just feels way too authoritarian. Like keeping tabs on everyone, and like the fifth does exist. I know that's crazy for me to say. Frenching on the fifth, yeah. If you get that in your skin, you kind of don't have a choice to say if you have a vaccination or not. Like, oh, you don't have your crystals under your skin. Anti-vaxxer. It's weird and it feels authoritarian and it feels no, I don't like it. It's also kind of against the Christian beliefs because there have been warnings in the Bible against that, which if you're biblical is also not a good idea to get. Um, how is this not authoritarianism? That's for you to figure out and me to wonder. How is this not authoritarianism? Putting crystals in people's skin, the COVID passes. The COVID passes limiting where you can go based on if you have a COVID pass. I don't remember America being like that, friends. I don't remember America being like that. Or flying without a COVID pass. Like, this is almost, it's like threatening what we hold dear. Our freedoms to decide what we want medically for ourselves. And deciding that we aren't right. So you have to go. If you want to go to a concert, you have to get a vaccine. Weird, odd, not right. It's like you're forcing things on people. Forcing things on people has historically not worked well. Ask the British how we became this great country. Forcing those taxes, I mean, giving us absolutely no representation. Very similar to what they're doing with CRT inside schools, giving the people no representation by not listening to them, just ignoring them. And my question to the teachers on that fact, and I know I'm swaying away from our main topic, but we'll get back there. You guys wanted this. And I've heard teachers love Democrats. You don't believe me, dude? You have been to a school in a while. They love Democrats. Most of them. most of them that I've heard love Democrats. So this is what they have led their own school system in. And I've always thought, these guys suck. They suck out loud. At the teachers, some teachers are mediocre, very indoctrinative. That's even a word. They liked to indoctrinate their children. But the school board just sucked. Back onto the topic. I don't know if it's ever gonna end, guys. If we don't stop it now, it may never end. And it's gonna be our faults. So China seemingly covered up all of COVID-19. Now, Dr. Fauci, If this guy's so narcissistic, he's insane. Also, yeah, he's bad. He's so bad. Dr. Fauci's going, if you disagree with me, you disagree with science. How narcissistic and evil sounding is that? If you disagree with me, you disagree with science. Hey, I'm a big agreeer with science. I disagree with Fauci because he's a lying piece of shit. And he's made that evident for the fact that he's lied. And, well, another factual idea is he has basically had so much confidence in himself. When he's wrong, he doesn't even acknowledge that it was wrong. He just changes it. This was just like Orwellian in 1984. So Orwellian. They would throw away the papers or burn them. The last edition to make the new edition for corrections. This is ridiculous. And then I have people. I had a conversation with the guy who was like, people they don't trust it because we only know what we know at that point. Yeah, okay, I understand that. I do. How about saying it? That piece of shit didn't say that. He was confident he was right. Maybe he wasn't confident. Maybe he was lying out of his mouth, but he got found out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all because he's a liar. He may have not had all the facts. He may have been guessing. How he may have been hypothesizing. Doesn't matter. He wasn't honest with us. How can I trust anything else in our medical department? Medical department. It's not even real, I don't think. At least not the official names. Clicking buttons. How do I believe anything else this man says? Or any kind of news about COVID-19? I don't trust anything that comes out of the White House. Dr. Fauci lied and lied and lied and lied and lied and lied. And now he's saying, if you don't agree with me, you don't agree with science. Then okay. Then I don't agree with science because it's been wrong 9 times now. And has been confidently wrong. Confidently wrong. People wearing no, we don't need masks. You lied to us so you could protect masks. Are you joking? Because you didn't think there'd be enough masks for everyone. You lied. You lied to us to protect supply and demand about medical concerns. And then proceed to push the vaccine and push masks like to the Bible. But you lied to us. Lied to us about wearing masks. And first it was one mask, and there was 2 masks. And at first there's no way there was a lab leak, and now it's Maybe there's a lab leak, and then there's no lab leak. I mean, he's so odd. I mean, he's odd because I don't know why he's still in his own and in the position that he is, because he's lied and he's been wrong so much. It's worrying. It's really worrying. And he stands up there and flaps his lips about God only knows what, and if it's right, God only knows if it is. Because he seemingly doesn't know what he's talking about. Uh, we have a few more topics to talk about. Few more topics. I promised an hour-long episode, but Chris couldn't make it, so gonna have a little bit shorter of an episode than that. I was really relying on Chris, making it so he can fill in some of those times, but he didn't. It's all right. I forgive him. But for now, we're going on our small break for Anchor, because it matters where I put on the different ads. Small break, as in I'm just gonna end the recording. Pause the stream for a moment. Give me a second here. All right, I'm back. All right, I'm back in Flash. So we're gonna talk about how Trump was just ignored about the possibility of a lab leak because he was Trump, which is not right at all. Not the brain. Um, I'm real blown away by that, man. That's not that unexpected though. So no, Trump. He's kind of our great president that he is. He has these insane ideologies. He talks a lot. Great guy, truly. You can hear it in the way he rants. He said that COVID-19 may have came from a lab, which was likely told to him by a doctor. And what he was responded with by the mainstream media was, this is just another bit of Trump foolishness and indoctrination. It wasn't. It was actually surreal, and he 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 seems to be kind of close to right. Kind of close, by very close. He seems to be right, and Dr. Fauci, like I said, is still covering that up for some reason. Wonder if he has private investments. You didn't hear it from me because there's no evidence, but they ignored Trump because he was Trump. I mean, that's not right. That's wrong. That's not, I can't say that's corruption because it's in the private department, but I can say is it's just wrong. And, um, yeah. I have to leave about when made sure to add this in the notes so I said it. The part about how Dr. Fauci says if you don't agree with him, you don't agree with science, that was from Weasel Zippers, so thanks to Weasel Zippers for supplying me with that information. Hurts. It's insane, dude, that Trump can be right, or he's right, okay. It's not sugarcoated. He's right. There's no doubt about it. He's right, and um we're kind of screwed here, man. I mean, if the media ignores him so much and then twists and they don't get repercussions except from Republican media, that is worrying, dude. We need to do better as people to just bust their balls. That sounds wrong, but it's true. We need to bust their balls more because they're getting away with all of this, and we can't. We can't do any of this. We would be just shut down immediately. And as a bonus, I know this isn't on either of my notes, and this is probably going to annoy myself in the future. Can we just talk about Hunter Biden? Can we just talk about Hunter Biden for a moment? Now, Hunter Biden is smoking crack and calling people the N word. And getting away with it. He's getting away with calling people the N word, smoking crack, and filming pornography with children. I am disgusted. Imagine, a lot of people make this point. I'm gonna make the point too. I'm gonna jump on that train. Imagine if a Trump kid did that. He'd be so screwed. So screwed. This is hypocrisy at its finest. This is bad. Very bad. No more, guys. No more. If you're listening to this, if you're a Republican, if you're a Democrat, you need to step your you need to stop this. Because at this point, it's getting so bad that I don't know if it goes any further. I don't know how bad it could get. I'm not sure how much damage Joe Biden, mainstream media, ignoring everything he does that is bad, his senile old ass. I don't know how much time we got left if we don't put our foot down now. Well, my boy's not coming. And I've checked repeatedly to see if he's coming. I've checked 3, 4 times to see if I can milk this out any further with him talking. Because he could put up a very good point himself. But no, it looks like he's gonna miss it because he forgot, which is okay. I forgive him. I don't forgive him. Yeah. So sorry about the few minutes off. My co-host left me. But thank you guys very much for listening or watching. If you watched. I hope you watched. It's kind of a special event. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep doing this because I don't know the kind of statistics I got on it. If I get a bunch of views and crap, a bunch of listens, that's nice. But for the audio viewer, I'm gonna leave you a little extra bit at the end. Thank you guys for listening and watching. Peace out.